Hello and welcome back to Tesla News. My name is Marian and I'm your host today. Today we're going to discuss the fight for battery production between the European Union and the United States, as well as we're going to look into details when it comes to the Model Y and the Model 3 refresh. We have certain hints where the focus could be. That is what we're going to discuss as well. Now let's start first of all with the European Union, which is very interesting. We have for 2030 a total amount of 1.8 terawatt hours of capacity planned, but planning is one step and actually beginning with construction and production is a different step. And we have currently 16% of this capacity that was initially planned at high risk. And most of that is as well because the United States, and I don't mean that in any mean way, it is a good way that the United States does that, but they are currently having a lot of incentives when it comes to the battery production. And we all want renewable energies to succeed and EVs to succeed, but now we are also competing between the European Union, the United States and China to have a leading position when it comes to the battery production. And of course, the United States is giving a lot of incentives. And what is happening in the European Union right now is that many projects are stopping their plan to produce in Europe and they are moving to the United States. On the other hand, the European Union is realizing that right now, and you see we have a lot of stuff happening in Germany in red, high risk, medium risk. Then we have other countries. So we do have a risk here, and the European Union is now trying to do incentives as well. At the end of the day, this is supporting the change towards a renewable industry, renewable energy. We have more batteries. We can achieve more mega packs or power walls if it's from Tesla or other brands, as well as the electrification when it comes to cars. So it has a positive effect. But right now there's a big fight between those two economies. This is something that has been talked about openly in the European Union. And if we look into the Chinese numbers, when it comes to Tesla, I mean, Tesla is profiting from a very good supply chain in China. They have everything in local production there, and this is coming from Chinese producers. And on the other hand, if you're in Europe, we need localized production as well when it comes to batteries, when it comes to refining. This is the same that is happening in the United States. So for everyone, it's pretty much the same goal to establish a big economy when it comes to renewables, when it comes to EVs. And it is no surprise that a certain fight and competition is happening here. But this is just an update for you. As a German, I have now the perspective as a European here. And of course, I really support the United States in moving into renewable energies and battery production. Just to give you a heads up that there's kind of a fight when it comes to convincing companies to build a factory. Now, when it comes to a refresh, I think we are expecting a bit too much here based on not a Tesla app. We have another source that is claiming it's not going to be like with the Model S and Model X. They're not going to slow down the factory. That is what Elon Musk has said before. So the changes will be mostly exterior, but nevertheless not as big as with the Model S and Model X. In the interior, it's going to be changes that we might not see immediately, like a structural battery pack, or the casting that is changing, and other stuff like hardware, etc., etc. So we could see a lot of updates inside the car that we're not actually seeing when we drive it. This is one thing, and then we're going to see outside some changes, but the focus will be outside at the end of the day. And I think it will be about cameras. It will be maybe about efficiency. We have talked about the fact that Tesla is trying to do cost cutting here, and the focus will be outside, even though the company is currently getting quotes from suppliers for the exterior and the interior components that will be used in the new version of the Model Y. So it's gonna be very interesting here to see what they will be initially doing, and I think that is going to be an interesting time here. So Many people expected major changes in the design, and that is a factor that we have to decline here. It looks like this is not going to be the case. This is not going to be like a major update when it comes to the Model S and Model X, where we saw so many differences. Maybe we're going to see a moving left to side screen. That could be a way to do that, but I think this is not going to happen. They're going to go on efficiency. They're going to go into cost cutting to build the best product at the lowest cost possible. So this is just an information for you. Let me know what you think about that, because of course many people have many speculations when it comes to a refresh, but I think it is just about scaling, reduction of cost, and this should be the focus that Tesla has to compete and further develop the advantage that they are playing out right now when it comes to price reduction. We have currently the discussion in Germany when it comes to Tesla, because German car makers are not able to compete with Tesla when it comes to pricing, and many people are taking it in a negative way. They're frustrated because they see how Tesla is playing with the competition, and I think they're going to further play with it when it comes to pricing and making money with EVs. Now, when it comes to the full self-driving update, we have V11.3.1 that is now out, and we are expecting here further developments, better functionalities, which I think Tesla is continuously achieving. Again, it's supposed to be working on freeways as well. There's supposed to be more updates coming, but let's see. Tesla has been good in providing FSD beta people a lot of updates over the last 1-2 years, but I think it's going to be even faster in the next month. Now let's look into the Cybertruck guy, who was actually sharing very nicely here how he was able to do a very fast service appointment for the Model Y. He had instantly a generated service estimate. He had a bill that with estimated cost. I think that is something that many people underestimate, that this is something that might not work yet for everybody perfectly, but will in the future. So the AI, digitalization, fast response, fast way of doing repairs, and of course an appointment is something, no contact with any person. This is just going without calling anybody or just hanging in there in the line. This is something you might not have in the future anymore. Now let's look into Hardware 4. I mentioned yesterday that Hardware 4 is having some issues when it comes to updates. Now we know that the basic autopilot is restored. Navigate on autopilot for new vehicles is now possible again. No updates yet when it comes to the FSD beta version. We still have to wait here when it comes to this, because some are not able to use that in the new hardware Model S and Model X. So thank you very much for being here today. I really appreciate your time, and I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you.